So, hello everyone and welcome to Adaverse. Today we have a very special guest with us. Martin is a vibrant member of the Ergo community that is very passionate about innovation in the ecosystem. So thanks for joining us, Martin.
Hello, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for taking the time, Martin. So to get straight into it, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe your interests outside of Ergo? Where do you live? What's your life like? Whatever you care to share with the community.
Okay. Well, I live in Austria. It's a country in the middle of Europe. I grew up in one of the western parts called Tyrol. That's the part of Austria which is exactly between Italy and Germany. And actually, I grew up on a farm in the Alps there for about the first 10 years of my life. And however, when I was 16, I moved to Vienna. That's the capital of Austria. And ever since, I have been living here. And yeah, after a few months here in Vienna, I met my wife. So we have been together for quite a long time already. And as many who follow me on Twitter already know, I have a little son. He's almost 3 years now. And yeah, I guess that's about me in a nutshell.
It's nice. We love to hear about your family. So what are your life and education or work experiences like? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Of course. I studied business and leadership at university here in Vienna. So my background is definitely non-tech related. My background is all about economy, numbers, company law, tax law, and so on. So yeah, as my profession goes, I started my career in an investment bank, and I have been working for another big Austrian company for many years now. And currently I'm leading a team there. And yeah, also my day-to-day job has nothing to do with blockchain nor IT. It's all about numbers, reports, and such, I would say, boring stuff. Yeah.
A lot of people are, I feel like there's a lot of people in that position in the ecosystem, since there are not that many jobs out there to do with it. But yeah, it's good. So what led you to blockchain, and more specifically the Ergo platform? And what has your journey been like so far, and what has made you love Ergo as much as we do?
Yeah. So how did you get into blockchain, and specifically Ergo? Well, I looked into Bitcoin in 2017 the first time, and it was I couldn't wrap my head around it at this time. But I found it that interesting that I tried it several times, and at some point I understood what Bitcoin is about, how it works, and at the macro level, and the philosophy around it. So Bitcoin was obviously my first crypto investment. A gateway drug into crypto, if you will. And after Bitcoin, I digged into some altcoins, but first I didn't see anything exciting at all. Of course, there was Ethereum, which had smart contract compatibility on top compared to Bitcoin. But the more I researched, the less interested I got, to be honest. So then at some point I discovered Cardano, and it's amazing community. And what I like the most, that it is research driven. Also the UTXO model And of course, I also admired Charles Hoskinson. So I wanted to connect even further with the community and the project as a whole, and decided to download all the platforms, all the communication happens on. So I downloaded Telegram, I downloaded Twitter, Reddit, and so on. And 2020 in the German Cardano Telegram chat room was the first time I heard about the project called Ergo. Then I talked to a friend of mine who was also invested in Cardano and asked him if he had heard about the project, about Ergo. And I can tell you he did. So he talked really the whole day non-stop about Ergo and told me everything he possibly could. And also he told me that it would be a once in a lifetime chance to invest in Ergo. So this was actually the very beginning. This was the very beginning of 2021, and the next few days I invested not a small amount into Ergo, even though I hadn't done my own research up to this point. So this was me just following in the project. So shortly after, I felt very bad about myself because I knew this was one of the most common mistakes someone can make in the crypto space. And so I decided to dedicate at least 1 hour a day to do research, reading articles, blog posts, Reddit posts, and so on. And the more I researched, the more I fell in love. To name 3 things which catched me the most at the very beginning were the Ergo manifesto, of course, the optional privacy aspects of Ergo, and the spirit of the community. And later last year, around about September, October, I just thought, why not tweet about things I have discovered and I'm excited about. I thought maybe there are people who like that as well. So this was the point when I started tweeting about Ergo, and yeah, here I am, I guess.
That's a cool story right there. And I like how you're tweeting, you started tweeting about stuff that you're interested in, because in crypto, you always like every day you're finding something like, wow, that's cool. What are you working on right now? And where do you believe your journey is going to go in the future?
Yeah. I teased a few weeks ago on Twitter that I'm preparing something for 2023. Well, I certainly can't say anything concrete yet, but I can say what I can say is it's all about the latest news about Ergo and its ecosystem. It will be a YouTube channel, and I will be the host. And and I'm not going to do it for the money. Yeah, it will be ads free, at least for the first few years. And currently everything is work in progress, as I have to think about all the things like, how often do I want to release a video? Is it just me talking about topics in front of a camera, or is it more of a screen sharing type of thing? What equipment do I need? How much time consuming it is? And so on and so on. As I said before, I have a job. This is most times more than a full-time job, and I'm not going to change this. So I always have to think about how much of my free time I can dedicate. So yeah, it's definitely, there's something coming, but it's very early stage. I'm preparing week by week. Yeah, I also try some things on Twitter. Try which format of news work, which formats don't work, and also what is the community excited about, and yeah. So I just try to get the feeling what it is all about, also what the community likes to hear, yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah.
With such a good following and platform and people supporting you, it's so valuable if you use that to kind of do good and, you know, bring good things to the community. So it's great. It's great that you're thinking about that. And to link to that a little bit, so broadly, what are you most excited about blockchain bringing to humanity and human interactions and the flow of value throughout the planet?
Mhm. There are so many possibilities. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. But regarding general human interactions, I believe DAOs will change the way decisions are made in the near future. I don't think that traditional corporations will disappear, but I certainly think there will be many use cases over time where a DAO will fit better. In this regard, I'm very curious about Padilla from Ergo, which will, what that brings to the table, because a feeling tells me that this DAO toolset is going to be huge. And regarding flow of value on Earth, I think there is a great opportunity to reduce the gap between poor and rich. There are endless opportunities to fractionalize real world assets, which would help people with much less capital to participate on the increase in value of those assets. And yeah, there's overall a very huge potential.
Endless what you could think about, from shares of companies, DAOs, even just like currencies at a base level, like a society benefiting from the inflation of a currency instead of like a single entity. Fungible tokens specifically, how can they play a role in the future? What do you think the possibilities are in the near and far future, you know?
Yeah. I can see social tokens being a huge thing in the future. One of the most interesting things, I think, most underrated, I think. So I think that social tokens are a great way to change the way some industries favor rich people. On this topic, just one example. Let's take the music industry. Currently, the main way how it works is like there's a singer or band, the management of the singer or band, and the record label, as well as the streaming platforms. And everybody takes their cut, and you as a customer buy the songs and eventually a concert ticket at some point, and maybe, I don't know, merch or something like that. I suppose that there will be many decentralized platforms in the future where artists can release their songs by themselves. And additionally, there are also the possibilities that artists release their own social tokens. So a fan and believer can invest in an artist early on. And the more she is going to be recognized by others, your tokens increase in value. Of course, when the others also invest in those social tokens. And also these tokens could, for example, be used as a ticket into a metaverse concert or something else. Yeah. So this is just one example of one industry which could be completely disrupted. And I think similar disruptions, of course, would apply to many more industries. So yeah, I really can't wait to see what's going to be done in this space. and of course, on top of Ergo. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm very excited about this one.
Yeah, it's all about kind of giving the power to the people and
Yes.
removing the need for a middleman, which gives a lot of independence. And like that's very good. So yeah, we agree completely with what you're saying. So on the other side, what about NFTs? What do you think is the future for them and the possibilities that they'll have?
As I said before, there would be the way to fractionalize real world assets. It's been done before, but not at a huge scale. On this topic, maybe also just one example. Currently, just rich people can buy, let's say, a luxury apartment in London City and rent it to someone else. So then they get the income and on the rent, and at the same time they participate on the increase in value of those assets, which in relation increases more than, let's say, low budget properties, percentage-wise, of course. But with blockchain technology, you can divide such assets into non-fungible tokens. And then also someone with not such huge capital can have return on investment percentages of luxury real estates or other luxury goods, like, I don't know, expensive art and that kind of stuff. And yeah, aside from this, I also think digital identities as well as digital keys on top of blockchains are likely going to be a mainstream thing in the future.
Getting back to Ergo, do you have a favorite technical aspect of the platform?
It's quite hard to name just one. Yeah, so I will name three. Yeah. The three aspects I like the most about the core of the Ergo blockchain are definitely the fair distribution with the proof of no pre-mine. So this is by far my favorite. Yeah. Then the UTXO model combined with the security of proof of work, and also the storage rent, as I always hated the thought that lost bitcoins are lost forever. Yeah, and of course all the fancy stuff like Sigma protocols, NIPA BAUs, and so on. Yeah, but these are definitely the main three things I like the most about the core.
So do you support IP27 and why so? What do you know about it?
ERB27 is basically a soft fork in the protocol which prolongs the emission curve. With ERB27, the total emission remains the same, and also the emission contract remains the same. Miners will just send some part of the mining rewards into the future. Yeah, that's basically it. And to be honest, at first I was very skeptical, as I didn't know enough about the pros and cons, and there was just not enough information around. And yeah, but over the last weeks and months, there were many discussions, blog posts, and articles which highlighted the relevant topics. So now, as I understand it more, I think it would be a good way to give the project time to mature, because nobody knows at this point if transaction fees and storage rent would be enough when the emission ends in a few years. And yeah, and if it does not pass, I'm sure there can be many other conversations for other changes in the protocol, as different parameters can be changed via soft fork. as far as I know. Yeah, I support it. I definitely support it.
Cool. Yeah, I
Great.
think there's definitely, I think being able to extend, a 3 ERG per block reward for a very long time, and then have that kind of gradually work into transaction fees in the future. I think that's cool for stability. I'd say I'm in support too.
It's good to see those changes happening and so much innovation. I don't know, I find it super amazing. Yeah. Seems to have there's a solution for everything in the Ergo ecosystem. So
That's true.
for the community questions, the first one, they ask if you've ever come across something that's caused you any concerns, and other than marketing, what are the major risk factors that you see Ergo facing?
As I'm not a developer, I can't say anything about risks regarding technical aspects of the Ergo blockchain itself. I leave that to smarter people than me. But just recently, I have done a poll on Twitter. It was about mobile versus desktop. I asked which devices are preferred when using tabs. The finished poll with over 200 votes showed that it's about the same for both, mobile slightly more. Yeah, currently I see a strong focus of desktop only or desktop first. But I believe this won't be enough for the ecosystem to reach commercial adoption. The Ergo Foundation, in my opinion, made a very smart move and hired Mr. Stahlfelger to get the mobile adoption going. He already developed the Android and iOS wallet. They are both super handy and work just fine, and I can't wait for more features to be added. He also developed Ergo Pay just recently. It's basically a debt connector for mobile devices. And yeah, now it's on developers to implement that in their dApps. But it's not just enough to just implement Ergo Pay and that's it. Also the UI of the dApps have to be optimized for mobile use. So yeah, as I stated on Twitter, I would even go so far as to say that there won't ever be real commercial adoption without polished mobile solutions. So this is the biggest risk I can see.
Cool.
To forget about the mobile train.
Right.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree completely. So second question from the community questions, how would a developed traditional financial market such as the Austrian one widely adopt a retail crypto approach compared to a so-called third world environment such as in Africa, where there are a lot of unbanked people? How could Ergo play a role in that?
That's quite a difficult question, but I believe that the first real life mainstream use cases are NFTs. Clearly not NFTs as we know them today. I'm thinking more about digital identities on a blockchain basis, and also NFTs for proof of ownership, such kind of things. As a robust, smart contract platform, the Ergo blockchain has definitely the potential to be at the forefront in this regard. And yeah, let's see what the future brings.
Yeah, we're all super excited. What are you most excited about for Ergo in 2022?
I think the most important part for the whole ecosystem was to get proper wallets, and I'm very excited about all the options in development, especially the Ergo wallets and Ergo Pay from Mr. Stahlfelge, and of course Nautilus as a desktop solution. And everything else, I'm just excited about the overall growth, and I like all the projects in development, and it's very pleasing to see many different types of projects. And I also hope that there is going to be more competition soon. But because I think competition would be quite important at this point.
Yeah, competition is always great for innovation.
Yes,
Progress. So before we finish off, is there anything you want the community to know at all?
To finish off, I just want to say that I really appreciate the whole community and the overall spirit. There are always interesting debates, and when you need something, there is always someone who likes to help. This, yeah, really just makes me proud to be an Ergonaut.
Yeah. Ergonauts for the win.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me. It was a pleasure.
That was awesome.